Many people I know are struggling with stresses and strains at the moment to do with very, very dark news out in the world, feelings of hopelessness or oppression from warmongering, global campaigns, inhuman corporate behaviours, oppressive states, inhuman behaviour. It's quite charged for some people, especially in urban environments when you're bombarded with all sorts of signals as well. And I want to give you a few spells to remind you how easy it is to not let your well-being be affected by what is going on beyond you. So we keep taking in news and data of things going on in the world that aren't happening in our environment, but we can feel fear, threat, and powerlessness and hopelessness in our personal space just because of receiving media input. I don't think people realise how damaging that is, because it means that you're bringing distress and stress and fear into a space where there was none. So actually, terror, distress, stress and fear are being spread by the media talking about terror, stress and stressful things and distressful things. The vast majority of the world is actually sitting in a state of beauty and a state of peace and well-being. But we've got this image in our head that it's not, that it's filled with war and terrorists and paedophiles and all the rest of it. Most of that is manufactured, and most of the war is being engineered by people that we in the West are paying to supposedly help us. So let's look at a spell that you can use to get yourself realigned inside. Now, there's this saying we have in English when we take a fall, or we're feeling a bit low or something. Can you all think of what it is? What do we say? We say, onwards and upwards. Onwards and upwards. Onwards and upwards. Well, for what? Onwards and upwards for what? Well, we want to go forward. Toward reward. No? Am I wrong? Do you not want to go forwards toward reward? Onwards and upwards. Everybody. Onwards and upwards. You know what a ward is? An arena of protection. A sphere of protection. It's an old magical term, but its meaning has not changed. It has now been sort of stolen or used by the health service, where generally you will hear of a ward in a hospital or a ward of the state. There's not many other people that use the term so much anymore, but really the meaning is the same. It's an area of safety. It's an area of well-being, basically, allegedly. So obviously, hospitals really aren't a place of well-being. But onwards and upwards. If you are being oppressed by evil, or evil messages are coming in at you, or you're encountering it, then what's happening is you're letting stuff into your reality that you actually don't have to. There's a big difference between being aware of stuff and giving it attention. I need to cover that with you another time. But really, at the minute, I just want you to think about these spells and just play with it in your day. Onwards and upwards. If something's coming to make you feel despair, distress, stress, hopelessness, powerlessness, these are all the antithesis of your fundamental state, which is of empowerment, presence, righteousness, joy, here-ness, Anything that's moving you from that isn't good. So, we want you to move forward toward reward. So, get your wards up. If you don't know what a ward is or how to do it, don't worry, because you don't need to. You begin by playing with the spells, and you begin by just even imagining that you're not going to let things affect you. Please don't think or confuse this with disassociation or with denial. Okay? All I'm talking about here is stopping things changing your internal state. It doesn't mean you can't still interact with them, It doesn't mean you can't still deal with stuff and be aware of it. The key is it's not moving you from your internal state of peace and power. Onwards and upwards, toward reward.